Comic-Con news. You know we're talking about that shit. So I unfortunately couldn't go to Comic-Con this year. I would absolutely love to go. It's like in my heart's desire to go, man. But I'm a college student, and I gotta put my money aside towards more better things, namely tuition, books, the little things. You know what I mean? After reading this news, I really wish I had in my heart to drop out of college and use my money to go to Comic-Con, because this year, man, God, this is an awesome year, and I really wanted to go to Comic-Con because, you know, they had all the cool stuff there. I mean, like, you know, I thought last year would be cool, you know, but this year it's even more cooler, man, because, you know, for starters, you had a RoboCop there yesterday, and, you know, and the Amazing Spider-Man, and today, you know, you're getting, you know, like, well, yesterday Game of Thrones, forgot about that, yeah, and then, you know, today you had, like, you know, today you had How I Met Your Mother, and you had Catching Fire and whatnot. And I'm going to get to like the ones I'm really looking forward to right now. And I got to talk about this too. I got to talk about the really big news that came out of Comic-Con earlier tonight. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit because DC and Warner Bros. Had a huge announcement, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So Warner Brothers did their panel, and their panel was basically the Lego movie, The Edge of Tomorrow, which is that Tom Cruise movie with Emily Blunt, Gravity, and The Seventh Son, and Godzilla, which I'm really excited for Godzilla, by the way. Just looks awesome, putting that out there. And right after the Godzilla panel ended, you know, it ended about 10 minutes early, and everyone was told to stay in their seats. They're just like, well, what's going on? You know, why are we still staying in our seats? And then he showed up, and it was Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, in the flesh, came out there, and he had a big announcement. He told the crowd at Comic-Con that, oh, we're officially going to go with Man of Steel 2, and I was like, great, awesome. And I wasn't extremely excited about it because I knew what would happen. I knew from all the positive audience response to it and the box office numbers and so forth that a sequel would obviously happen, you know. And Zack Snyder said, I don't want to give anything away, but I can tell you one element that will be in it. And then Zack Snyder brought out this actor named Harry Lennix. And for those of you who don't know, Harry Lennix was in Man of Steel. He's like one of the Air Force generals, and he was in The Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, and he ironically was a general in those movies too. And Harry Lennix read a quote. And I'm going to paraphrase it right here because, frankly, I should know this quote by heart. I knew it instantly from when I first heard it. But I'm really tired right now, so I'll paraphrase it. So he said, "In all my years, Clark, you'll know about the man who defeated you." And that is a line. I was like, oh my God, it's from Dark Knight Returns. I'm like, they can't be. They absolutely can't be. And what do they show? Bam. A Batman Superman logo. And I was like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. It was I was going nuts, man. And then a few minutes later, Warner Brothers released a statement, and they said their next Man of Steel movie would be a Batman Superman crossover, world's finest movie. And Zack Snyder was coming back to direct it. David Goyer was going to write it, and Christopher Nolan and Emma Thomas are executive producing it. And Henry Cavill's coming back without revealing who's going to play Batman. And this is fantastic news. This is like the news of my dreams. You know what I mean? To see finally that Batman and Superman are coming together and are officially going to do a movie. And you know, for a while they've been wanting to do a Batman Superman movie for so long. I remember at one point, you know, Wolfgang Peterson, the director of Troy and Air Force One, was going to do it, and for some reason, I guess budget issues, they backed out of it. And they did like a a crappy joke about it in I Am Legend scene, which I really didn't like. I was like, that's a bad joke right there, you know? And this doesn't feel like any of those times. It really feels like they're actually legitimately going for it, because they've scheduled like a year release date. They're going to release this in 2015, which is awesome, because 2015 has, you know, movies I'm really looking forward to, with Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and Ant-Man and Star Wars. And of course, we're going to get to the other big reveal just a second, though. But a Batman Superman movie is just, it's incredible. I'm so excited for it, and I'm also glad they didn't decide to go the Justice League route, because I assumed that they would do the Marvel route, and they would have a bunch of solo movies lead to a Justice League movie, because I always thought that's a really, you know, smart way to go. But I feel like A World's Finest movie is perfect, because you can have it as a sequel to Man of Steel, and at the same time you can bring the new Batman of this Zack Snyder world into it, and then you can take off a Justice League movie from there. And, you know, I've also been hearing, you know, rumors that Flash movies are going to be in 2016, so, you know, there's that, though. But the point is, this is happening. We are back going to get a Batman Superman crossover with the right team, and it's just, it's incredible. It's something that I never thought could happen, and I'm really happy right now, man. I'm filled with joy, you know. So there's that. And just when I thought the DC Warner Brothers stuff wasn't cool enough, they showed the Marvel stuff. First of all, I know it's technically not Marvel, but I count it anyways, because the logo shows up, whatever. But they did the X-Men stuff. Now, out of all the superhero movies that are coming out next year, with, you know, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, and X-Men Days of Future Past, and Spider-Man, Days of Future Past is the one I'm looking forward to the most, because it's a great storyline. If you haven't read Days of Future Past, the Days of Future Past story, go ahead, go read it. It's awesome. Or you can catch the Days of Future Past episode from the 90s X-Men cartoon. That's an accurate depiction of it. But, you know, I was just really excited, you know, to see, you know, the original cast of the X-Men mesh with the First Class cast, and that was really cool to see. And, you know, to see that this is going to be, without a doubt, the biggest X-Men movie ever made. And reading from, you know, the description of, like, the footage that was shown, I'm like, they really are going balls out with this one, and I do feel that way with the Wolverine in a lot of ways. So that's how I feel about it, man. It was great. But then after that, they then, you know, brought the Marvel panel out, the Disney Marvel panel out, and they showed the Thor stuff. And the Thor stuff, from what I read, seemed really cool. It seemed really Game of Thronesy, which I'm like, awesome, you know, bring it on, because I love Game of Thrones, by the way. And then after that, they did the Captain America Winter Soldier stuff, which, judging from what I read too, it seems like a Marvel version of The Hunt for Red October in a lot of ways. And I'm like, that's great, because, you know, they said that they are going to do a political thriller after all, and from what I read, and from what, you know, from the actors saying, the directors and the composers and everyone say that's going to be a political thriller. I just feel like that is a good way to go, you know what I mean? And then right after that happened, the whole Guardians of the Galaxy cast came out. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a movie I was a little skeptical of it, because it's the most far-fetched of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to me, feels like, you know, it feels like a bunch of movies that are grounded in reality. Like, you could actually believe, you know, with the way they've described, the way they've set up the world, you can actually believe that these events even happened, especially the alien invasion and the Avengers. I could actually believe that happened, you know? And I felt with Guardians of the Galaxy initially, I'm like Guardians of the when I heard they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy? That's the one with the talking tree man, and the talking raccoon, and the green skin chick. You know, it was just like, it was like the most, like, you know, bizarre, oddball, you know, thing Marvel's done. You know what I mean? So there's that. But then, you know, when I heard the castle getting assembled, they were like, oh, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora, and, you know, Benicio del Toro was the villain, and I love Benicio del Toro. I was like, this is making me, you know, this is getting me actually really excited for it. And also Karen Gillan is in it too, which I'm like, my future wife is in a Marvel movie. Awesome. Even with her shaved head, she still looks pretty hot, man. At least I think so. So after that, you know, they all started talking about their roles. They started talking about, you know, what the movie's gonna have, and they showed a little bit of footage. Not much footage because they've been shooting for 2 weeks now. But from what I read, I was pretty happy about it because I'm like, okay, this is where they're going with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm up for it. I think James Gunn is going to do a great job at it. And right when I thought it was going to end there, it didn't. Because they showed a teaser for Avengers 2. And from what I read as a description, it was this alien standing like in this temple. And this temple like forms into the face of someone, and that face is Voltron. And then the title of the Avengers 2 is The Avengers Age of Voltron. And I gotta say, man, that is a perfect way to go for Avengers 2. Because, you know, look, I like Thanos. He's a cool villain. He's probably one of the best Marvel villains out there. But he's too big, I think, for Avengers 2 because, you know, they're obviously guaranteeing Avengers 3. And how do you top Avengers 2 with someone like Thanos? And the truth is you can't, so the only route you gotta go is you save him for the third one. So what do you do for the second one? You bring someone who is stronger than Loki, but not as strong as Thanos, and that is where Voltron comes in, because Voltron is this robot that can heal. He's really strong, and he's such a complex character. And I think that, you know, that he is going to be a challenge, and he is going to step up the game of the first Avengers. So I'm pretty excited about it. And it comes out May 1st, 2015, by the way, which, like I said, it's the same year as Star Wars and World's Finest and Ant-Man and Bond and Pirates of the Caribbean 5. So what more could you want, you know, man? So yeah, there's that. So what are your thoughts on the news of Comic-Con? Who do you want to see play Batman in World's Finest? I am going to be in that majority that says I want Carl Urban to play Batman. He's got the menace, he's got the presence, and he kind of does look like Batman in a lot of ways. What do you think about What do you think about the Marvel movies? Which one are you looking forward to? Which one is the one you're least looking forward to? What do you want to see in Avengers 2? Who do you hope could play Voltron? In fact, you know, now that Vin Diesel said, oh, he's going to be part of the Marvel Universe, I wouldn't be surprised if they choose him to play Voltron. I mean, why not? He voiced a robot in The Iron Giant, after all. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And stay tuned for tomorrow, where I'll have my X-Men First Class review. And, you know, we're going to get to that, man. So, yeah. Subscribe if you want to. Comment, like, whatever, man. Just take care, man.